What's up, guys? My name is Sean, and welcome to the How to Hero YouTube channel, where it's my job to awaken the hero within you. There's a hero within all of us. I wanted to record this video. Pardon the quality. I'm just using my phone. Hopefully it sounds okay. If not, then, I'll just reshoot the video. But I wanted to get this out there while I was thinking of it. Essentially, I wanted to talk about victimhood and how easy it is for us to fall into this trap of believing we're a victim of our circumstances, believing that things are happening to us and we don't like them and it's a problem and that type of thing. One of the very, very common things to have happen when you start to awaken is you start to see the disparity between yourself and others, as far as your soul's evolutionary process is concerned. So the more you start to awaken, the more difference between you and some other people that are in that 3D reality, you're going to see that difference more. And they're going to respond to you in ways that are like you're triggering them, typically, just by being around them. Because they're not sure why, generally, but something about the way that you are is upsetting them. And one of the interesting things is that you are calling this experience to you. So one way to think about it, the way that's helped me to think about it, is when I'm getting into a sort of debate or argument or something like that, or energy that I don't like from a person that is more or less unconscious or is behaving unconsciously, I recognize that I actually manifested this. So there must be a lesson here. There must be a lesson that I'm not seeing. And sometimes the lesson is super simple. It's just, maybe the lesson is just to keep your mouth shut sometimes, or, very simple things like that. But in my case, the lesson was a lot about victimhood and about blaming other people for my own actions and then consequences to my actions. And I'm going to do a video describing the specifics around my psychosis. I had a psychotic break during awakening, and I think it's fairly typical actually to experience this type of thing. I don't think a lot of people talk about it, so I'm going to talk about my whole thing, but that's in the next video probably. In this video, I wanted to share my strategies for getting over the victimhood. So the first one is to recognize that you manifested the situation, that you called this situation to you, even though it's coming through to you in the form of another person. It's manifested through them into your awareness. It's still something that you manifested for yourself to experience. So that's the first thing, is that you are to blame for this experience. You are the one who's responsible for this experience, and you're the one who's responsible for your response to this experience. So once you recognize that, you can go, okay, so really it's not my fault. I'm calling this experience to me, and if I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't experience it. You can think of it similar to, like, let's say you have a roommate that you just really don't like, but you stay there and you don't try to change the situation. You just stay with your roommate and you stay at this place, and you don't really want to be there, or you don't want to be there with the roommate, but every time the roommate comes around, it's just a big argument, and they whine and complain about everything, and they're downers or whatever it is. By staying there, you're basically inviting more of this to your awareness, and so it's up to you to change it. So the other thing that helped me a lot was to recognize that because I'm sovereign and a co-creator of the universe, I literally can just choose not to be a victim. I can just know that I'm not a victim to my circumstance, and that whatever happens is happening for a particular reason and is part of the divine plan that I set in motion for myself. And in addition to that, it's part of the divine plan for the other person who set it into motion for their self. And feeling like a victim is a really easy way to drop your vibration down. It's a very, very easy way for you to pull power from yourself. Because if you're a victim, that means you're not a creator. It means you're not in control. It means you're not responsible. It means you're not aligned with source. You're not aligned with your inner being when you're saying that you're a victim. It's a really, really easy way to self-talk yourself out of alignment, out of vibrational, out of a good vibrational state, or out of alignment with source and that type of thing. So you really want to pay attention to your thoughts around that type of thing. And then finally, it goes back to the divine plan and divine timing. In my experience, spirit, God, goddess, universe, source energy, whatever you call it, creative infinity, creative love, whatever you call it, it's smart, right? And when things are manifesting, they start to manifest in the weirdest little ways, surprises and jokes and hilarious little ways of manifesting. You cannot fathom the different quantum potentials that are opening up for you to receive all the abundance that you've looked for, all the abundance that you've been wishing for and setting intentions for. Those doors are sitting there sort of closed, but just sort of ajar a little bit. So you really just have to push open one of the doors and start moving through it. So a lot of times the manifestation is just waiting. You need to show some sort of initiative and start to put in typically some sort of action to start facilitating it. Especially if you want something in the physical world, right? If you want a particular physical object or a person or whatever it is, like, you need to recognize that there's probably action that you have to take to achieve that in the physical. You know, if we're talking about let's say an internal state that you want to be more confident or something, then it's a little different, right? You simply start to embody confidence as much as possible until it starts to become like a default. So the main point, if you take anything away from this video, is very simple. It's, you're not a victim. You cannot be a victim. It's not possible for you to be a victim in the classic sense of the word. You can have negative experience, or you can have experience that you consider to be worse than other experiences, or you can consider them to be bad for you or something that you didn't enjoy, but you still made it. You made that experience. A long time ago, I won't go into the whole story, but a long time ago I was molested. And I wrestled with that, with this whole concept. Like, if I'm the creator of my reality, that means I drew that experience to me? Like, that doesn't sit very nice, right? But in fact, that is what happened. When I incarnated, I set out a plan that something like that was going to happen to me. And it was going to be something that pulled away all my power and also taught me how to go within and hide if I needed to, as a sort of self-defense or protective mechanism. And I've used that mechanism many times in my life now. I essentially somehow just shut off my senses and just go within. And it's something I learned back then. And, eventually I was grateful for the whole experience. But it took me about 20 years or so, give or take a year, to become grateful for that experience. And so, I just wanted to put that in there because that's a pretty bad experience for somebody to have. It's not the worst thing that could happen to somebody, but it's a bad experience. And I wanted to explain that, even in a situation like that, I've been able to change my perspective on it, which has allowed me to heal from it and move on from it. And now I don't think about it. And even if I do think about it, it doesn't bother me the way it used to. It used to cause me anxiety. And, if I saw certain things out in the world, it would cause me to get anxious, as if it might happen again. That type of thing. And so I don't get that anymore, but anyways, I think that covers the main things. Just like I said, always, always, always remember that you're sovereign, you're a co-creator of the universe, and you're here to step into your birthright, your divine birthright, and create and express and love. That's what you're here for. So stop letting little things that happen to you cause you to feel like a victim, which pulls all your power away and stops you from manifesting the life you truly desire. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, click that like button. It really helps with the channel. If you want to see more of the stuff I make, consider subscribing. And I love your faces. I love your bodies. Thank you so much. I love your bodies. I don't know where that came from, but I do. Thanks again, and take care.